Hi everyone, welcome to my latest online PE session. Today we're carrying on the theme of athletics and now we're moving on to the jumps. Over the next couple of tutorials we're going to be covering 4 different types of jump. Speed bounce, standing long jump, the triple jump and the vertical jump. Today we're going to focus on those first 2, which is speed bounce and the standing long jump. So before you start, make sure you've definitely got some trainers or some nice springy plimsolls to wear. Also, make sure you've got some space to work in. If you can do this outside, I suggest you do that. Don't go jumping off anything, and you need some space to do that. Before you start, make sure you've done the stretches, some leg stretches, some ankle rotations, because you're going to be using your legs, and obviously maybe do a few arm stretches as well, because you will be using the arms in the movement as well. Now, the speed bounce. This is a proper speed bounce I have here. As you can see, it's for your feet, and the object is you jump from one side to the other. Now, in several of our workouts, we've already practiced the speed bounce, and this is one of the activities you will be doing in the virtual sports day. Now, as you can see, this is quite a high barrier. You haven't got to worry about that, because when you'll be doing this sports day, what I want you doing is just laying down a towel or a piece of string or a tie like I've got here, and you're just going to be jumping side to side. Now, a few tips I want to give you about the speed bounce. First of all, it's actually quite a tiring exercise. What you do need to do is make sure when you're jumping, you jump from your toes, and when you spring across the other side, try to land as close to the barrier as possible without landing on it. If you jump too far across, you've got a long way to get back, which is going to use more energy, take more time. The time is not what you have in this exercise. It's about 20 seconds or 30 seconds, and you've got to do as many as you can. The other rule with speed bounce is your feet must take off and land at the same time. So you need to go together like that. What you can't do is go almost like clippity-clop, okay? So this is something I recommend you practice, and it is one of those activities, the more you practice, the better you get, the faster you get. It's also very good for your coordination and your agility. Now, one of the things I always say to children when we're doing this, if you can slightly lean, so you're almost looking over the centre, and when you're doing it, twist your hips. Like that, okay? So what I want you to do now is go away and practice that. Practice to maybe try and do 10, then try to do 10 seconds. And gradually build up your skill with this. Don't keep doing it because it does put pressure on your knees, on your joints. So remember the tips for this: on your toes, twist through the hips, keep looking where you're bouncing. Don't bounce too high. If you bounce too high, it's going to take longer to land, especially when you're here, because you can be going much quicker. Okay, brilliant. So that's what I want you to do with speed bounce. Now, moving on, standing long jump. Now, again, this is something else we do in sports athletics. So with the standing long jump, again, rules of this, very, very simple. Feet must be on or behind the line. Have your feet slightly apart. Bend the knees. Remember, whenever you jump, jump through your toes, from your toes. Now, the idea is, when you jump, notice that what I just did then, I used my arms, because your arms help to give you lift. Once you've got lift, if you've got some momentum, that will get you further in your jump. Okay, and when you measure, wherever you land, try and land with your feet together. So if I was going to do a little jump for you, try to land with my feet together. Okay, if my feet land one in front and one behind, the measure is from the closest mark I've made to the start line. So this foot might be up here, that's not my jump. My jump is measured here. Okay. So this is a sort of game that you can practice in your garden, maybe along your driveway with your brother or sister, and see how many jumps it takes you to get across the garden. Now, again, this impacts on your knee joints, so don't keep jumping and jumping. The key here is quality, okay? That's why I'm breaking it down for you, and I want you to follow these simple steps. So number 1, feet slightly apart, toes on or behind. And to try and get some momentum, use your arms, bring them forwards and back. So doing it from this way for you. So I'm going forwards and back to give me some momentum. And when I'm about to jump, I'm going to bring my arms backwards in a backwards windmill. The reason being is that it straightens my body, allows my knees to come up through and drive and slightly get further forward if I can. Okay? And remember, so I'll just do a couple of jumps for you. Okay? So I'm going to get my arms going and I'm going to jump and then land. Okay? Now, I don't know how much of that you saw. That was a pretty good jump. Now I need to be a bit careful here because I don't want to be jumping down the garden. So I'll just turn this around here for you. Okay, so I'll go through that again for you, sideways on. So remember, feet slightly apart. Bend the knees. So I'm getting up on my toes. Extending the arms. Keep my head up. So make sure you're looking at a point in the distance, not down, because it drops your shoulders. We need to lift up. Okay, and I'm going to jump. I'm going to go jump, and then land. Practice that. See how you get on. That's all for today, boys and girls. 2 totally different jumps: speed bounce, standing on jump. Till the next time, take care, stay safe, stay home, be active. Bye for now.